Hi, my name is Martha and welcome to my Booktube channel where I'll be talking about books that I'm interested in and engaging in discussions about the books and reviewing some books and showing you what I like to read. Today I'm going to be doing the Booktube newbie tag and I'm going to be answering the questions on the tag so that you can see what the channel is going to be about and the books I'm going to be talking about and the kind of things I'm interested in reading. So the first question is, why did I start this channel? So I started this channel because I have a Goodreads account and I read books and I review them and I put whatever stars, if it's a 1-star review or a 5-star review, and I write long ass reviews on there and no one seems to be caring or replying to them. So I was just like, wow, I'm really talking to myself. So I decided after I like watching Booktube. I like watching people talk about the books they read and the things that they liked in them. And I just feel like Booktube is kind of a place where you're seeing someone's feelings about a book real time. And to be honest, Goodreads is kind of like an ancient site, but that's another conversation for another day. Anyway, I started the channel because I would read books and have no one to discuss them with, and no one was interested in the same books as I am. I used to be interested in the same books with my brother, but then we kind of grew up and our tastes changed and I was the only one left still reading. So yeah. The second reason I think I started the channel is because when I would read books about specific people, so when I talk about specific people, I mean either it's African people or it's Black people in the story, or it's other people of color in the story, or things like that. So when I read a book like that and I go and review it, I low-key want to see someone from that community talk about the book, because there's a kind of specificity that you won't see anywhere else. So currently I was reading Ayesha at last, and to be honest, if I was looking for reviews of the book, I would like to see what hijabi women think of it, or what Muslim people think of it. Or if I'm reading if I'm reading African fiction, I want to see what Africans think of it, or something like that. Simply put, I just wanted to see a face that is talking about the books. If there's nothing wrong with being from outside the community and reviewing a book, because a book can still be a good book regardless, or a bad book regardless of whether it's important or not. But I just thought that if I put myself out there, maybe someone who is looking for a reviewer who is probably interested in the same things as them, or who has a similar experience to them and who can relate directly to the book, that they may have a unique perspective on the book. So that's one of the reasons I started the book. And also because I just wanted to be creative and talk about books and that kind of thing. So what are some fun and unique things you can bring to Booktube? This one I don't actually know. We just see as we go along. Maybe you can bring memes to Booktube. I mean, I don't see memes in anybody's videos.
Let's say
maybe right now I look serious. As I go on, as I get comfortable, maybe I'll be doing something entirely different. Okay, 2 things that are going wrong in this video right now. My video cut off because apparently my phone has no storage left, and my neighbor just decided to start playing Beyonce. I mean, I like Beyonce as much as the next girl. I ride for her. I'm Hive, but I'm filming a fucking video. Anyway, we shall continue with all the mishaps. The next question was, what book or series got you into reading? Wow, I don't even remember. All I know is I used to see my mom reading long ass novels and I would wonder who would read such a big novel like that. So I would sneak into her room and steal her books and read from cover to cover, and all of them of course were romance, and they were all covered in them them calendar papers that are white outside and they cover the raunchy covers on front. So you take her books. Anyway, so that's how I got into reading. And also I would read, them like Sweet Valley High, The Babysitters, Nancy Drew. I used to love Nancy Drew. Like, I think Nancy Drew, yes, I think that's the answer to that question. Is Nancy Drew is the one who got me into reading. I think I still have like a collection of them unless I give them away, but that's when I started reading more and more long form type of books. And then I moved from Nancy Drew into Enid Blyton, into Harry Potter, and then into Twilight. Next question is, what questions would you ask your favorite booktubers? So I haven't been watching Booktube long to have favorites, but I have a couple of favorites. Like, I love Francina Simone. I love what she's doing on her channel. I love the types of discussion she curates, and the type of things that we should be thinking about more in Booktube, the book world in general. I like her because she like brings some realness into the discussion around books and around culture, and I just value that. Oh, and Left on Red is a good one. Maritareads. Next question. What questions did I ask them? I don't know. Like, Francina, what's the next book you're gonna write? We're waiting. First of all, I haven't even read her first book, so I don't even know why I'm saying that. I'm so sorry, girl.
And
What challenges do you think starting a Booktube channel will be the hardest to overcome? Well, I guess maybe right now for me it's getting used to the camera, getting used to talking to the camera, getting used to expressing myself with no one in the room and not feeling like an idiot, basically. I promise, like, I'm more animated, but I don't know. I think it's something about being live that just changes your whole body. That's one challenge. Another thing is when people seeing my videos, seeing me and critiquing me, and when you're on camera, like, I'm guilty of this. When I see people on camera, I'm looking at their background, I'm looking at what they're wearing, I'm looking at their hair and stuff. My hair, one side is curlier than the other. Please, I don't care. I know one of my hands are painted, the other one is not painted, but those are just things that I think I'll just have to get over as I go along, because I just want to talk about books, to be honest. So next video, we're gonna be looking dolled up, but since this is the first video, we must be looking cute for camera and stuff. And yeah, anyway, so the last three. So the next question was, when did you start reading? I don't know when I started reading. Honestly, I feel like I came out of the womb reading. Like, I've been reading ever since I can remember. I think maybe the earliest memories of reading are probably when I was 7, 6. And ever since I went to school and discovered the library in the school, that's when I started reading. I would just devour books all the time. I would love the library session. Like, I would just take books. I loved reviewing books. I loved English. Like, I've just always liked language, and that's how I actually learned English. Where do you read? Well, when I'm here, I'm either reading on this couch or in a bed. What kind of books do I like to read? So this is the question I wanted most to answer. So the kind of books I read, I don't know, I'm a very eclectic reader. I read virtually anything. Like, anything that interests me, that is. But I can probably say better what I don't read. I won't pick up a thriller. I won't pick up especially legal thrillers, because I do law, and that is just not my idea of fun. And I don't pick up sci-fi. But it will depend. Like, if the writer is very good, and if it's someone moving into a new genre, or like if it has like a black girl read, I'll see if it's interesting. Like, I'm not gonna apologize for it. I look for black girls everywhere, and if we're there, I will read. But I would say I mostly read romance. So if it's fantasy, romance. If it's paranormal, romance. I don't care. If it has romance, I will read it. The reason I like reading romance is just because of the tension in romance, and like the way a character A and character B, like the journey the author takes them on, and the tension that is between them, that is so alive and just like flies out like at you on the pages. And sometimes it can be so visceral that you feel like you're standing, like you're a fly on the wall. And sometimes the way that tension can be written is like you feel like you shouldn't be there. Like I felt that with so like a few writers. It's just, I don't know, it just makes you feel alive. Like I've read books where I've not finished, and not because it was boring, but just because it was so intense I couldn't. And I've only found that in romance. I'm not sorry, but I've not found that in any other genre, and I won't apologize for it, honestly. So if you are looking for other things, maybe you will find them, but that is like my main genre. But also, I will say I also read fiction. I've been trying to read more and more African fiction just because I feel like I should stop being a snob and actually read African writers, because I don't know, I have this perception that African writers just like writing about colonialism. And while that is valid and that is our experience, and that is some people like the African experience, I just feel like it doesn't give me a lot of escapism, and that's the main reason I read books a lot. And I'm not usually in the mood to read about a real life problem. When I pick up a book, I'm mostly reading it to escape into someone else's. I guess that's why people will cross read like things that they've never lived in, and will enjoy that more than things that they know. I guess maybe it's just me, but I've been trying to read more African fiction just because I feel like it's important to know our history, it's important to know your identity. And I'm also gonna try and read, more Kenyan writers and more, you know, more. But I just mostly enjoy contemporary writers. But I'll try and read like the classics. I'm embarrassed to say, like, I've never read like the classic African, like if you're talking Gugu Thiongo, like if you're talking Chimanand, I've never read them. Like my dad tried to make me read them, but I wasn't interested. I wanted to read Harry Potter. So I won't apologize for that. But like as I'm getting older, like I feel like it's more important to read it more now more than ever, because I want to understand more about the systems I live in and where I come from. I just want to read books that spark conversation and have bigger themes than just, lightness or fun. Although I like that, but at the same time, not to say that only important books or things about heavy themes only have, they're the only ones that have in like worthy conversations, because I've read a lot of romances, whatever connotation you want to put on the genre, that have introduced me to a whole other world out there. How different lifestyles that people are living, and different kinds of people and different kinds of complexities in humans, and things that challenge me and my beliefs, things that I feel like I would never do it. You understand, because of how writers bring you into that world, and they invite you in, and they are like, here's my world, I'm presenting it to you. Like, just like they hold you, they're just like, we are going on this journey together. And that's like how, when I see like conversations maybe online, like some conversations I see and I'm like, wow, I already saw that in a book, and it has reached this and this and this place, and I'm like, oh, I've seen that before. Books are kind of like ahead of the curve in media in general, in terms of whether it's diversity. I feel like a lot of women's fiction, and I don't know why it's called women's fiction, but it's like has all these rich characters who have a reality to them, like complexity to them. They are flawed humans. They can be allowed to fall. Okay, anyway, I'm going on a tangent. But what I'm trying to say is I'm just trying to read more important books and have discussions about them, and not just, say, oh, I like this because this and this happened, because, writer did this and this and this. I don't know. I just want my channel to be more wholesome. Yeah, let me just end this video because it's gone on, and I have lost energy as the video goes. So I don't know if you see the light just going from me from the beginning to the end. You just see the light just fading from my eyes, like right now. So I'm gonna leave my socials down below. You can follow me if you want to see more stuff on there, my Bookstagram and my Twitter and stuff. So I'll see you in the next video. Bye.